structure here with the nitrogen group attached in the chair-like structure between two separate carbons. When nitrogen is ingested in your body, it binds to glial cells, which are these kinds of cells that contain astrocytes and oligodendroids. And what happens is it enters your body and binds to them at toll receptor 4, resulting in increased dopamine levels, which is this structure containing a benzene ring. And this nitrogen group gets blocked from the reuptake due to this nitrogen group taking its place, similar to a key binding into a lock and not coming back out. In your body, this results in increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, and a feeling of euphoria. Nitrogen is important in medicine due to the process of nitrosylation that occurs in your blood vessels. In your blood, nitrous oxide, which you can see contains a free radical, meaning there's only one electron on the nitrogen, floats around, and with the presence of free arginine, an amino acid, and O2 plus NADPH for energy, nitrous oxide synthetase works and combines it with an inactive guanidine cyclase molecule that has a cysteine, sulfur-containing amino acid residue, in which the hydrogen is taken off, and this electron binds with the sulfur, creating an active cyclase enzyme. And you can see the bond formed here. Then GTP comes in as an energy source and releases a diphosphate, creating cyclic 5' 3' GMP, the main product of this process. But then it can also be reversed with phosphodiesterase, an enzyme used to break phosphate bonds. And then the whole thing starts over again. The cyclic 5' 3' GMP is really important because it's an enzyme. It relaxes your smooth muscle cells, which look like this. And through the relaxation of the smooth muscle cell in arterioles, it allows the blood, when the muscles relax, it can flow through. So it's used important in the uterus to prevent premature birth. And a medicine created due to this is Viagra, which allows blood to flow to the venous. Nitrogen is one of the most important elements for living things because it makes up a lot of DNA, RNA, and a lot of other genetic material. Unfortunately, in the atmosphere, it exists as dinitrogen gas, and this is one of the most difficult bonds to break in nature because it's a triple bond, and it has an extremely high activation energy. So while other nitrogen molecules may be more stable, breaking this bond is very, very difficult, and this makes dinitrogen gas a very inert substance, meaning that its half-life is greater than a minute. So for living things to use nitrogen, they need to react this dinitrogen gas and make ammonia. And there are some sorts of bacteria that can change this dinitrogen gas into ammonia or fixate nitrogen. And one of them is cyanobacteria. And it exists in blue-green algae in the water. And there is an enzyme that it has, nitrogenase, that does this fixation. And the nitrogenase has a cofactor within it. It's a subunit in it. And this is that subunit. And it, as you can see, it has many places for reaction. And these sulfur bridges are very flexible and reactive. And a middle element can be put right here. And when that middle element is one of the dinitrogens, it essentially overcomes this high activation energy. And one of those nitrogens is chelated into this FeMO cofactor so that it locks in one of the nitrogens, and the other nitrogen can go on to make ammonia and be used in genetic material in plants and animals.